Welcome back to 2190 Live, everyone. Zaina Allen here, and I'm here with the talented Estelle. Estelle, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. We're here celebrating the 20th anniversary of your first album, and I want to know,
Yeah.
yes, I want to know what would Estelle back then tell this Estelle right now? What does she need to hear?
Oh, oh, she would have told her, "You're right. You were correct." No, she would tell her, "Well done, well done. You did it good. You did good." And while you're doing that, look up and smell the roses a little bit. Well, look up and just enjoy where you're at in this moment because it's magical and it's something that you're going to be able to talk about and have and hold dearly for the rest of your life. So look up and smell it and really take it in. Don't just barrel towards the goal. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And now, with
Yeah.
20 years under your belt from the start or the beginning of your first album till now, what do you
Yeah.
think that you've learned about yourself throughout all of this?
Oh, geez. That I'm enough, that I'm correct a lot of the times. And it's okay to be correct, even if you are ahead of your time. It's okay to have a very clear vision of who you are and what you got going and to verbalize it. Even if you are like a year ahead of everyone else's perception of what's going to happen, it's okay. Still say it. Write it down sometimes instead of like trying to convince people. Write it down sometimes. But yeah, like it's okay. Like that's a yeah, that's everything you did good. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. I'm glad that you've
yeah,
learned so much about yourself throughout this time.
yeah,
I think that a lot of people, the longevity of being in the music industry is amazing, first of all.
yeah,
And I think that a lot of artists um, can tend to not learn too much about themselves throughout their journeys, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so, what do you think that your journey has grown to become now that it's 20 years later? You are about to put out your sixth studio album. What has this become for you?
Oh, my journey. Oh, that's tough. It's because it's still going, right? It's never gonna stop until I say, oh, I don't want to sing no more. Just gonna be never. It's just, guys, it's gonna be never. It's gonna take its form somehow. It's gonna be music. Um, but I think that it's grown into a confident, well, a confident, an open to change and growing artist. Like I should say, I'm consistently humbled by how I'm consistently humbled as to how open I'm able to be at every turn. Like I know what I know as far as the 10,000 hours I put in to do music, right? I know when I get in the studio, I know what I'm about to do. But I'm always like with the producer I'm working with or with whoever the engineer or whatever, or whoever's supposed to be in that room at that time, I'm always like, oh, tell me more. What, you can do that? Try that then. Let me see what it sounds like. And I surprise myself when I do that because there's two halves of me battling my brain, the ego that's saying, you know what you know. Don't go in there and let no one tell you nothing. And there's the other half that's like, but what if it sounds good? What if it sounds really try it? And that side always wins and it's always for something great. So I'm consistently surprised at myself where it's just like I stay open, I stay young in that aspect, I stay curious in that aspect. And I think that's what my legacy is. I stay open, I stay young. I'm always trying, I always want to try something new. It makes me happy to try something new. It gives me joy to hear what comes with it, even if whether we use it or not. Like it's joyful. It's like, oh, we people don't even know what that sounded like before I said, let's try that effect, you know? And then it just went, and that's the version that everybody knows. And I'm always just like, oh, I'm glad I said yes to that effect, or I'm glad I said, let's try this type of singing, or I was channeling this person's energy or what I think they did. I'm always so happy that I stay in that. Tell me more. Let me try some shit mode.
Good.
That's my legacy. Tell me more. Let me try some shit. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then along with you evolving and growing and learning, your sound has evolved and grown as well.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for your sixth studio album. What do you want
Yeah.
people to get from this album?
Oh, I want them to get joy. I want them to know that again, that this album speaks to your joy. This album isn't about commiserating in the dark. Well, it actually is to a degree. Let me break that down. It's about finding the joy and finding the light when we're being forced to walk through the dark. Forced. Because everywhere we turn is a negative version of events. Everywhere we turn is like we're facing the complete unraveling of society. And so everywhere we turn, everyone's kind of like, this is a dumpster fire. What? And so I'm kind of this album for me and this whole body of work is like, yeah, but the sun still shines on a dumpster fire. And you are the sun. The sun is still in the sky. We're okay. We have earth and air and we're breathing, guys. It's not what they're telling you it is. I promise you it's not. The truth is not that. The truth is you and your reality and your light and your joy. Let's look for that. And once you have it, keep feeding it, keep feeding it, keep feeding it. So that's what this album is, me feeding my joy, feeding my joy. And for me, it was a dance, is being happy and dancing and like, being in my one. My friends are always like, yo, how do you go out and be outside? And I was like, when I was in my 20s, it was being cute, it was a bottle service, it was that, on dancing on chairs, right? At 30s, I'm a dance on the floor. 40s, I'm back dancing on chairs, okay? But I'm doing it my way. I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. I'm two-stepping. I'm like, when I get in my bag, I will electric slide, I will do the wobble, I will do all the dances. To me, what I haven't learned the Tamia dance. That's too hard. But I will just enjoy myself. Like, and I don't, my things are, it's not I don't care, but I care about having a good time in that moment. And that's to me is feeding the joy, like if I go outside and my eyes are closed and a record's playing, I'm really having a time. I'm really in my bag and I will close my eyes in the middle of the club or in the middle of wherever and and have my time. And I don't feel any kind of way about it. I don't worry about perceptions. I don't care about what people think is happening while I'm doing that. I'm actually having my time. And I want to encourage more people to do that. Just be in your bag at all times, be in your joy. That's it.
So you're talking about finding joy and the way that you find your own joy and express your own joy. How have you did
Mhm.
what was this process like to find it? Like, were you always this joyful, or did you have to search really deep within to find that?
I was always this joyful. It didn't go away. I just like let other things kind of cover it a little bit after a certain point. And then and I found like my joy was in home. I had to translate it how it made sense for me. My joy was in home. I'd given up the idea of myself being home and was looking for it outside, like literally looking for it in a physical building, in other people. And then someone said to me, you are your joy. You know that, right? Your home is inside of you. And that just like, oh, like lightning, like, oh shit. Figured it out, guys. Figure out what it looked like as a grown, right? As an adult, like without all the things. And the question and the idea was posed like, without all the things, are you still this happy? And I was like, inexplicably, absolutely. Like I'm going to wake up with a smile on my face because it's not about a single thing that I've had. I've sold shoes and clothes and items and homes 2 times over, and I'm still happy. So that was the whole like, yeah, girl, like it's not about anything or anyone else. This is about you. And I'm proud that I can find it, harness it, access it at any point. It's nothing to do with nobody else, nothing else, you know? Things are gonna thing. And I've never been asked out. I've
I
never
love
been
that.
like forsaken, for one of a better phrase. Put it in spiritual phrase. Life's. God has never let me down. He's never left me out. Never, you know? So I take that as like part of the root of my joy. But it's also just like it's a light inside of me that's like, oh baby, like it's I said it in one of my quotes, was like this joy that no one's given to me and no one can take, no human can take, no spirit can take. It didn't come from you guys. It came from God. It came from the spirit. So that's where the root of everything is. So when I'm talking music and I'm like, yeah, I go and I pray in my sessions and then I whatever comes out, comes out. I mean it. I mean every ounce of it, from like OI to Fire to the rest of the album. I mean it, every word,
I
Yeah,
love that. I love that. So are we
yeah,
expecting this joy from this new
yeah,
album? Are we gonna feel
yeah.
it in our bones?
I hope so. I hope it speaks to everyone's light. I hope everyone like I hope when you hear this, it just changes your energy space. I hope it just makes you feel joyful. Like I hope it's just some undeniable shit, you know, like I want you to feel how I feel when I'm like when I was going through my whole what's next? I don't know. Do I trust things? Do I trust myself? Blah, 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 blah. I made this album out of that. And the answers were yes, I trust myself. I worry about what's next. I'm worried about now. I'm interested in now. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm interested in now. Yes, I trust myself. All this joy that I've got to step in and I'm having a, I'm out here like arms in the air. I'm trying to describe it. Arms in the air, head back singing. Don't talk to me. Like don't tap me and try to interrupt my joy. That might make me look at you like we're not gonna dance or nothing. Get off of me. Leave me. You know, let me be. But once I'm in that bag, ooh, like so that's everything I put in this song. So I hope it like in this music in this album. So I hope that it touches people's that sense inside of them because we all have it. We're all born with it. I truly believe that we came into this world with it. It's finding it or it's realizing it's there and taking away all the things that are covering all the layers of excuses of why it can't be, why it shouldn't be, what personal reasons you believe you were raised with that tell you why you can't have this joy and putting them all to the side and being like, but I got it though. Like, what are we talking about? Like, where we at? Like,
I love
you
that.
know, so that's what I believe with this album. I want people to have it and I want people to recognize it and have fun with it. It's a good time.
Yes. Yes, we
Yeah.
love. And I wanted to switch
Yeah.
gears really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that it is voting season, it's election season, you know, and as Black
Yeah.
women, I think that our vote is very important. And I
For
want to
sure.
know, you actually have had a part in getting the
Yeah.
word out that voting is important,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I know we were just talking about what's
Yeah.
happening at this moment with pre-election voting.
Hmm.
So I want to get your thoughts on the election season right now and how important it is for Black women to get out there.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's a lot of, I know that from speaking to a lot of Black women, I know that we are all, and I say we because I'm a citizen now and I'm involved in the voting process. So before anyone has a time about, why is she talking? She from London, bruh. I have a passport now and I'm here now and I'm dual citizen. And I have a say because I'm in it. I pay taxes here. We just, woo, it's real, baby. Like, so, you know, I believe in the process because it's not just at the macro level, it's at the micro level. And that to me is where it's actually really effective. Like this is where our voice and our vote really start to move the needle, you know? Of course, we want the right president. We want the right Madam President in power, please. Thank you for that's my personal vote. But at macro level, at micro level, at government in your city, in your town, in your place of residence, that's important too. So up and down the ballot. It takes you 30 minutes to do a quick Google in total to do a quick Google on each of the candidates as you walk through your ballot, right? And or it take you 15 minutes to tell a homie, the smart homie or the homie that's always super invested in this to like run me down who I should be voting for. Why should I be voting for them? Please send me a spreadsheet because you know you have that friend, right? Or you know someone who's got that someone. Or there's a Google fact check document with all of that stuff somewhere in the ether, right? So there's information out there for you to be able to do it, and it takes you about as long as you would take getting ready to go outside and tootsie roll with your friends. So, you know, my thing is like for your sanity, for your safety, for your effective life, for the people around you, for the community that you are in, vote up and down the ballot, vote locally, vote for the people that are going to help make life better for us all, not just yourself, because we're not in a space where we're able to just this, at least in this vote, I believe we're in a space where we have to vote for us all, you know, and not just for the few or not just for the one or not just for yourself. We have to really pay attention to our whole community. If I want this because I'm in a certain tax bracket, that leaves 70% of the world on their ass. You know, I'll be all right for a year and it might help the whole world if I help vote in this direction because I'll be here. We'll all be here and we'll all be able to have our freedom. So that to me is why I'm involved in it. That to me is the common sense of it all. That to me is the light of it all, you know. And I that's my perspective, you know, like less 70% less me, you know, 70% more us, you know, as a people, as a community, as a gender, as a race, as humanity. There's more. That's my reason for being out here with them
Yes.
and encouraging people to vote. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to wrap things up, Estelle, what's next? What are we gonna see
Yeah.
from Estelle? I know we got this next album coming out. What's going on? We're gonna
Yeah.
see on a film and the TVs. What we gonna do?
Everybody's asking me about acting. I mean, I think I had the last time I think people saw me was like with Linda, my Bob, on a film with Neil Long and Omar. So that was a whole fun last time. I had a great Bob. We liked Linda and her Bob. She was great. I have a book coming, like a memoir of sorts, like an inspirational memoir to a degree. I wouldn't say inspirational, but just a how to. People always ask me, "Well, how did you do it?" And this is the book that's gonna let you know how. It's not a tell-all. It's not dragging anybody. It's just giving you information on my journey that you might not have known the 10 years before American Boy came out. And you know, like and also post where everybody was like, "Where did she go?" And I want everyone to stop asking me where did I go while they're at my social media. You can scroll down, you can see. I'm here, been here, not going anywhere. We good to go. But like it's gonna be about that. And yeah, and then we have more, we have so much more coming that, you know, I just giving you the next 6 months so far. So we're coming.
Yes. Yeah, so we cannot wait to see what's next with Estelle. And we're excited for
Yeah.
this sixth studio album for it to come out.
Me
And
too.
we just can't wait to see.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much for
Either.
your
Thank
time,
you.
Estelle. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a gorgeous rest of the day and a beautiful weekend, my dear.